Captain Sandy. How did you get started in yachting?
You know, it's a really interesting question. I was in high school and I was lettering in most sports, as women do. Strong women. Shot put, volleyball, softball, anything with balls, really. But I got on that drug and alcohol merry-go-round, and I got kicked out of school at the 11th grade. My parents, as you would imagine, weren't happy. So I needed to get a job. So I started washing boats. I was down there with the salt on your face and the sun on your skin. You feel like you're alive. That's when I felt alive. I was washing a boat. And so this guy he said, "You got a knack for this. You got a knack for washing my boat." He sent me to sea school. So I went to sea school, and I'll skip over a lot of the important stuff. But stowed away on a pirate vessel, killed a couple whales, met puffers here, right, puffers? There you go. Good. Move your cart just a little bit. There you go. There you go. Loves fish, that one. Here we are. Does that answer your question?
Below Deck Med.
It's the finale, y'all.
It's the finale.
I knew she was sober. I knew Sandy was sober. I did not know it started in high school.
Hey.
I guess it did.
Good for her that she got. Good for her that she got sober. That didn't make her nice.
It makes a lot of sense. It makes a lot of sense to be how everything is kind of self-helpy.
Self-help. You can tell
that way.
Yeah, you can definitely see, and this is for a lot, and I get it. Why she likes to be in control of a lot of things.
Mm-hmm.
She does not like to feel out of control.
Right.
Because that doesn't feel safe.
No, this is Below Deck Med,
Below Deck Mid, season 7, episode 19. What was this one called?
Let's bring it home.
Let's bring it home. Y'all, don't pull over. We're remote, but go. There's a police.
If you don't cry when Jean Valjean is singing that high note and it is beautiful, and he's looking at the man he wants to kiss, wait, that's the way it ends for me.
No, I don't think so. As Mother Poodle would say, if you just didn't steal that loaf of bread.
I don't think that musical was for her. I don't think the stakes. My parents are very rational, logical people, which explains why, in a way, it explains exactly who I am and explains why exactly who I am. Why I think very rationally, but also I'm very much a dreamer in that way.
Yeah.
They just, and like, it's like my father would say, he was like, "Friend, why don't we go to see a movie? This is a farce."
What, because the movie's about fake things?
None of this is realistic. And I'm like, we don't go to the movies to see that.
We don't know.
This is a farce, friend.
Our parents just want to bring us down. I told my mother today, I was talking to her, and I said, "Hey, Mama, we were catching up, and she's excited about Thanksgiving because I'm going back there for that to Dallas." And I said, on Friday, I said, "Mama, I'm going to the doctor. He's just going to update my Botox a little bit. I'm going to talk to him about getting my neck done." And my mother said, "Well, if you're going to go under, you might as well talk to him about a forehead lift."
Wow.
And I went, "Well, I guess I need it." Because that's the second time she's brought that up every time I've talked about getting my neck done.
So you don't look like a Shar-Pei?
Yeah, I guess my mother wants me to get a forehead lift now.
I've never known parents who were suggesting possible plastic surgeries.
Then you haven't known a lot of parents, because this isn't the first, especially in LA. Oh, do you know? I know so many mothers who have told their daughters to get plastic surgery.
I guess I'm thinking sons. I don't
think there's a lot of sons unless they're, again, that case son.
I wonder if there's anybody out there who your mother actually suggested you have procedures.
Oh, I'm telling you, you're going to be surprised.
No,
We just opened up a
believe
box.
I believe it. Y'all, this is the final episode. I really do believe this season went on 2 charters too long.
5 episodes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Because we all hit our wall with Tosh about 4 episodes ago. We
have news about that. Kate Chastain, she spoke out. We're going to talk about it.
The Queen has spoken about Tosh. Daisy weighed in on Tosh, and then they asked Hannah as well. Hannah's been going off about her on her podcast, though.
I guess we can just talk about it now.
Let's just talk about it now.
I'll read it. I have the article from Reality Blurb.
Very trusted news source. Reality Blurb.
What? So Kate
Chastain, the chief stew on Below Deck for umpteen seasons.
Yeah, and she was on Brandi Glanville's podcast, Unfiltered.
Yeah.
And so they were talking about it, and Kate said she is just really, really awful at her job in so many ways. Yeah.
If you watch Kate Chastain, you can hear her saying those things. She's really awful in just so many ways. She's also called, I think she called her cruisy.
She called her an embarrassment to the yacht industry because she diminishes the elegance of working on a luxury yacht. And this is a quote, again, first of all, I understand that in my first season, I put a humongous dick blanket on a bed, but that was elegant. When she brings out that dildo, it's just tacky and so cringe.
You know, I get it. And Below Deck Med is a different version of that, but I don't think any of the other chief stews would have done that.
She also goes on to say, quote, "It's just disgusting. It's like you were at a Daytona spring break bar. It's almost an embarrassment for the yachting industry. Like, girl is giving cruising vibes, you know?"
Yes.
And she said, obviously she doesn't drink as much as us because anybody who actually drinks is like, give me vodka, give me champagne, give me tequila, a mixed drink, I'll drink too. Espresso martini and a margarita, maybe an Aperol spritz, because she's talking about all the fancy drinks she made. And that's true, y'all. Poodle will have one of your fancy drinks, and then he'll put half of it down.
And say, vodka.
He'll say, you got a vodka.
That's a real drink.
So now, but I don't. But she really likes Natalia. She says, quote, she works hard. She's funny. She gets it. And she says, Kyle is, quote, too extra, too sassy.
I think sometimes it can be a little bit overly familiar with a guest, regardless if you're a very extroverted gay, which he is. And I think a lot of Kate also comes from a different type of service background. She's using the word elegant, things like that. And that's Captain Lee's style as well. Very kind of reserved. This is yachting. And I think Captain Sandy can kind of be like that. It kind of depends on what crew she's got. But someone like Hannah was always from the Kate Chastain school. Even though Hannah when she would go out would be anything but elegant.
Well, Hannah called Natasha, quote, boring and doesn't make, quote, interesting television.
I could see Hannah say that.
And Daisy said, it's hard to watch.
Daisy from Below Deck Sailing Yacht.
Yeah, she said, it's hard to watch, to be honest. I feel sorry for her for sure. In the saloon. And I think that is basically that
she was reviled. Let's just say that. Also, I have a little bit of news. I don't know if you watched the trailer for the reunion.
I have not.
Guess who are no-shows? There are 2 no-shows.
For Below Deck Med?
Yes, for this reunion.
Ryan's not going to show. Wait, no, that's the Below Deck of Down Under. So you know what? It gets confusing. Although I would be surprised if Dave shows up. I could see Dave not showing up.
Who's the other, you think?
I can't imagine that Tosh would not show, but if she did, that's a real wow. Since it was
no show Tosh, no show for Jason.
I forgot about Jason. I
He
forgot
hasn't
about
left that
Jason.
far ago. It wasn't left that long ago.
I forgot he was on this boat.
Tosh doesn't show up. She had a printed statement, which is very apropos because she obviously, when she was on Watch What Happens Live, she could not even answer questions.
No. So, wow. So she made, as she says in this quote, this is one of my tea bags actually, that I thought, what an insightful thing to say, but yet you still go on. She says, I've learned a lot about myself in a painful way that's been painful to others. And I went, so you caused other people pain, but now you don't want to. Now you don't want to show up to talk about it.
My personal life feels like it infected the whole season.
It did.
Especially on the last charter when your ex-boyfriend is actually bothering DMing the chef. Come the fuck on.
Come on.
When it's eating into your LinkedIn page, your relationship is off the rails.
It's true. Maybe I would be different if I was actually on a reality show, but I'm of the mind, unless I actually killed babies and bunny rabbits on the show in plain sight, I would want to show up to the reunion just because now Tosh has no way to defend herself. It's just going to be people talking shit about her.
Yep.
I think
it's
worse.
It's avoidant behavior because she actually can't. She can't actually hear what people say about her. It's absolutely ridiculous. Let me just say this. We're never seeing her again.
We are never. She's like, I did this once. I never want to be on a reality show again.
Well, and you know who shows up? Raygun shows up. I
forgot about her too. Well, good for Raygun.
I don't know if Ellie shows up or not. She was there for one episode.
And she was 2 hours late for her shift on her first full day of work.
She did lick Courtney's nipple, though. Or Courtney licked her nipple. I don't know.
I think she would be. Y'all don't pull over.
Stu's gone wild.
Stu's gone wild. Don't pull over. She would definitely do well on a full season.
Yeah and no.
I think she'd sleep with people.
She would, but she was funny. I don't think she'd make it the whole season. I think
maybe not.
She'd have a couple breakdowns. And I think she'd leave. So my first teabag, I think it goes, actually my first one was the Tosh thing. And was the guest who said, we should do an ayahuasca retreat.
Things you don't hear in South Carolina.
But the things that you hear when you're at Cafe Gratitude on the porch. Yes, that is an actual place in Los Angeles. Yeah. Cafe Gratitude.
4 friends who've done it, who've told me.
I have friends who've done it. Yeah. Would you do it? Would you do ayahuasca? You puke and you shit your pants.
I don't know. I don't know. My first thought says no because I don't really want to subject my body to shitting my pants. Would you?
I would have definitely done much what he said. Probably even in my 30s. I don't have I don't have the same drive for hallucinogens anymore.
I think that's good.
Yeah. I think I love it that this group of people, they like to talk about things. You can tell that woman's never going to do an ayahuasca retreat. No. She just likes to talk about it.
Dominic's going to go home, order McDonald's, or Dominic's going to go home, order pancakes at McDonald's and just play Xbox.
Did your thing correct it to Dominic?
No, I just read that name and I say it Dominic. It's Dominique. I wrote it correctly. I just say I want to say Dominic from that. I don't know why.
But it's got a Q in it.
Yeah. I know. I don't want to read it. I know you're right. It's Dominique. I just want my Dominic. That's how I read it.
Like the Dominique Dawes.
Yeah,
would you call her Dominic?
No, but I don't know why. Maybe because I think of Dominique as I'm gendering it actually because I think
Oh
of
no,
Dominique as a female
it
name.
is it
And
for in
so,
France. It's you see Dominique all the time for a male name.
see,
Yeah.
you fucked a lot more guys in France than I have. You're like at 300. I'm at 0. So you know
I would
more.
say 300.
240.
57.
Wow, the fact that you said it in French is so pretentious. Wow.
Not that many. No, not that many. Maybe 11. 11.
11. Yeah.
And one who's told me he wasn't.
I will say my teabag is, God, you have bad taste in men. And that when I see Dominique in his shirt with his shirt off, I'm like, yeah, I'd let him hit it.
But he is such a little bitch about everything.
Oh, I'd let him do it.
Y'all, he orders pancakes again. You know what? He'd probably complain about you while you were doing it.
He'd be like, no, he would not.
Yeah, because he complains about everything.
I've never had a complaint in that department.
Well, you'd have one this time because he's not happy about anything.
The audacity.
No, I'm saying this is a person who's not happy about anything.
Would he complain about you?
Probably, because it's not about you. It's about his experience with what's going on.
We need to move on. I'm hurt.
He complained about the flies. He complained about and
he didn't. Though when he did get the pancakes and they were raw in the middle, he did say, "Don't tell him. I don't want to hurt his feelings." I was surprised by that. I was like, too late. He already fucking hates you. But I was surprised by that. This is still the weirdest group of charter people ever.
It's like they won a contest.
Yes.
Or like some kind of Stephen King novel where you had a different kind of person from every walk of life.
Yes, or like that movie that's coming out with what's his name, where they eat everybody.
Oh,
Ray Fiennes.
Chef. I think you just gave away the secret of that movie.
You can tell by the trailer. They say, "Are we going to die tonight?" You can tell they're going to eat people.
I don't know if that's the conceit.
Well, at least people are going to die.
That's true. It's
maybe they need their soul to
chef.
Fan the fire. I don't know.
What's
that
your
movie
next
looks
teabag?
dumb to me. I don't want to see that movie. God, it just looks pretentious and dumb.
People have been seeing not Deadly Night.
Violent Night.
Violent Night. Yeah.
Were you surprised when you looked it up? Did you watch it? It looks funny.
I you know what? I watched the trailer and I thought it was much better. I thought it was some kind of horror movie.
No, I wonder what did it get? Violent Night, Rotten Tomatoes.
I love it that we're just looking up reviews.
Hey, it's not a lot happening. You know, it's not out yet, so it doesn't have its tomato meter out yet.
I thought people were seeing it.
No, not
maybe
yet.
they were watching the trailer. Maybe that's what it was. What's your next teabag?
My next teabag is, as I talked about the pancakes. I already said that Tosh argument. I want to say that y'all, this Tyler guy, bless his heart.
That's the gay?
Bless his, this is a weird.
With rings on his hat?
Yes, he reminds me of, when he just reminds me of that guy when you go, I didn't see this much. You see it some in West Hollywood. I saw it in Dallas too, but it's like that gay guy that didn't really amount to much and doesn't really have a talent for a lot of things, except for they just kind of they're funny and kind of quippy, and they always want to latch on to someone more famous.
Oh yeah, totally.
And the way he's talking to Sandy that whole time, like, you just have a good energy. Ugh. Like we connect. And then when he told that joke and Captain Sandy, he literally, for the first time in history, did you see her actually look at the camera like, kind of flash and look like.
Y'all, I've never seen Captain Sandy do something that was originally comedic.
She broke the fourth wall.
I've never actually seen Captain Sandy like do an office pan.
Yeah.
Like
she did.
Like this, she was all of a sudden Jim from The Office.
She was
giving us direct to camera, but you know what? It was a time for it because
That's a funny show. I just watched the one episode on the airplane. It was funny.
Yeah, not a lot of people know about that show.
Really? They should. It was good.
You're talking about The Office. I'm just clear. I love it how you're discovering it.
I am. I'm just discovering it. It's great.
How is it possible you missed The Office?
I didn't want to watch The Office because I worked in an office. I felt like it was just seeing real life. What's funny about watching someone who hates their office job when you're doing attorney's dishes?
That's the point of The Office.
But
People who worked
too real.
in an office enjoyed watching their lives satirized.
It was too, but I didn't want that life. It was too real.
Oh God, I need to move on because I have so many things to say. Like, you've never even seen like a scene from The Office when it like replays at night. You never.
I saw it on the plane. I enjoyed it.
Y'all, you heard it here first. 2 thumbs up for The Office.
I think it's going to be a
So
hit.
if you
Funny. I went, oh, there's a lot of famous people in this show. That guy on National Lampoons was from The Office.
if you've been wondering whether or not to sleep on The Office, here's your chance.
Do it.
Don't. You should watch an episode. It's pretty funny.
It's pretty good.
Didn't win any Emmys, I heard.
Should have. That's a rob. Anyway, y'all, if
good to
this
know.
episode is alone, the episodes have been kind of boring. However, just if you fast forward to the dinner to see Captain Sandy throw that look, it's kind of worth it.
Because Jack, what did he say? Jack and Jill went up the hill to Jack could taste of something candy. Blah blah blah. It was basically like a trans joke that was awful,
not appropriate. It panned to Captain Sandy in the moment.
It's
she
like,
just said,
"Come on,
come on."
No, this I'll tell you who this guy is. He comes from money. That's his family. He comes from family money.
See, I felt like, is he the main charter? He's not,
No.
though.
No.
I feel like he didn't come from money. I feel like he's someone who wants to act like he comes from money and
That's
globs
probably
on to
true.
rich and famous people.
That might be true. Gloms like an amoeba.
Bloop.
So it's okay, puffers. I think my questions are about. We talked about the pancakes.
Yeah. Oh, you know what? Before we talk about pancakes,
we should take a
let's
break.
take a commercial. We'll be right back.
Yo, Kyle is back! Yay! Just to party, I guess.
Yeah, just a party. I mean,
I have such a low threshold of tolerance for him. I don't know. Something happened halfway through the season. I thought he was a little fun at first, and then he kind of got to wear on me, and then I actively did not like him.
I don't dislike him. I think
I do.
I feel.
I did listen to the Crappens episode. Crappens hates him.
Yeah, I don't hate him, but I'm not. But I didn't want to see him again.
Yeah,
Just like
there's something. It also feels like he didn't really work that hard, and
he didn't work at all.
Yeah, he's coming in and acting like.
You know, I don't dislike him. I don't respect him. There's a work ethic thing for me that if you do a job, you do a job. And really, when I think of the whole him and Frank thing, that rubbed me such the wrong way, and that level of unprofessionalism. And I just couldn't.
That was where I was done with him. I also found out Frank actually had a boyfriend during filming, so they didn't even. If they faked it all.
Well, it doesn't matter anyway because Kyle's engaged to another guy, to a doctor. You know what? That's why you should hate Kyle, because he's marrying a doctor. Where have you gone wrong?
And I just absolutely hate that kind of style with the big pants and the flowing.
I actually think that looks cute. I couldn't wear it, but it looks cute.
Why? You're similar types.
No, I don't know. I feel like I would look real dumb.
I think it's trying too hard.
Well, yeah, I just think that.
Yeah, ugh.
Sometimes I feel like I should do Stitch Fix or one of those things where they pick out clothes for you and send. Jackie used to do that, and everybody that does it, they get real cute stuff.
I think women have a lot different kinds. Women have a bigger spectrum than we do.
Maybe
of what we wear.
Maybe that I just thought that I just ordered myself another pair of Rothy's because I loved them.
Well, good.
I love those shoes. Y'all they're
I
so
like mine.
sponsoring us. Get you some. I love them so much. I bought some myself.
$20 off with code reality. I think it's gaze.
Gaze. It's just gaze. That one, just gaze.
Every time I say that, after we record something, I'm like, with your code, gaze.
Gaze. I know. I feel like I'm just saying spooge.
Or I feel like I'm someone on horrible talk radio in the 90s. Like, it's all the gays' fault. Like Rush Limbaugh or something. And then they're going to give it to the women and the man haters and the gays. That's what it feels like.
We need to move on. We need to move on. Can't speak. You know, I was going to say, oh, you shouldn't talk, but he's already dead.
He's dead. See you in hell.
Wow. Whoa.
What's your next one?
Wow, that took so okay. So really there's not much when he does did write, this isn't a teabag, we already talked about this, but when Tyler was like, I'm really good at reading energy. You have a good energy. And I went, you're shitty at reading energies, Tyler. You've dated a lot of bad guys. Because her y'all, a muskrat would be scared of Captain Sandy's energy.
The thing about it is, she's a fake. You can spend a little time with her. It's not that she's bad at her job, which I think she's quite capable. I think
she's good at her job.
But it is the energy she gives off. She always knows she's on camera.
Always.
She never, ever forgets herself, which in a way makes her good for the show, but also she's too practiced. And when something does happen, like the mask slips a little bit and she flips out over Hannah having a vape pen and some Xanax and chases her around the boat for a whole episode, you're like, what the fuck just happened? So that's how you know things aren't real.
Yeah,
with
I
her.
agree.
Yeah,
I agree.
Yeah, it's she comes off as inauthentic, which is why we make fun of her.
It's why we make fun of her.
Someone sent me a thing that she wrote, a tweet or something she wrote, and they said, I'm convinced you ghost wrote this for Captain Sandy. So it was like, when I'm having trouble, I think about things like, what would I do? How do I want to lead my ship into quieter waters? Yeah, and so I'm like, no, I did not write that for her. I said, but she is starting to sound like me as her.
Well, I mean, it is a good impression.
What's your? Was it? Were you next or me?
Yeah, you go ahead. You go ahead. I did it.
I just want to talk about that last little bit of Storm. They were doing like Rose and Thorn or something at a table, and Storm's like,
you're talking about the guests have left.
Yeah, they're out to dinner.
So guests are left. Yeah, they're going out to dinner.
With Captain Sandy.
Yes, Reed's going to try to fuck Ellie. It's all going to happen.
And he's like, yeah, I guess it's the best crew I'd ever hoped for. You, Captain Sandy, the water slide. I also got to give it up to the worms that live on the dock. They helped. The ropes that we used. Everybody's parents on the crew.
That anchor.
And
thanks
and
to
God.
That anchor. Yeah, and God.
And Natalia's just staring at him.
But see, I don't know how you saw it. I saw Storm's point because I
agree with him. I agree with him.
So fucking wishy-washy. She would have been mad at him if he made it all about her.
He's fucked if he does, fucked if he doesn't. That's the thing.
The best thing that's ever happened to Storm is that Talia's not into him for a serious relationship.
Yeah, she needs to fall head over heels and learn how to be vulnerable and then she needs to be devastated.
Probably.
And
but in her defense,
I love her. I want to see her back on another ship.
I do too. In her defense, she told him what she wanted and how she was going to play this from day one.
Oh, yeah.
She never said, I love you. I want to be with you forever. She kind of always put it out there. I felt like one thing you got to give it up for her. It's why it's so interesting seeing the juxtaposition of her and Tosh is that Talia is so clear with communication and boundaries, and Tosh has none.
She'll say things like, "Come on, you're going to stay with me for a while," but she's playing with it. What I think is it's really interesting because Storm wound up being a simp after all that, after the whole dirtbag pirate. He's a simp, y'all. I'd suck his dick and he'd cry during it. I'm like, get away from me.
Wait, are you not attracted to him anymore?
Not really. I'm not into simps.
You are Talia.
I know. I gotta be able to respect you if I'm gonna fuck you.
Wow.
I don't say you have to respect me, and for a fact, it's kinkier if you don't.
You don't have to respect
disrespect
yourself.
me.
You just
disrespect me.
Yeah, that's where we are. That's where we are on this.
But if you're gonna like ask me for everything, do you like when I do this? Do you like? Just do it. Just fucking do it. See what happens. If I hit the side of your head, then no, I don't like it.
Don't like it. Then nobody else has really any roses or thorns that's any worthwhile. They end up having like she mentions it to Storm later, and Storm goes off about it, and he's like pissed off about it, and I don't feel like I want to talk about it. It's the whole thing. Storm gets upset. He gets emotional. Then they go in the bed, and then they get drunk, and then they go in the bed and they cuddle and work things out. Like it's the same fucking thing that happens every time to them.
Yeah.
I'm more, y'all. Elena is a good time.
Oh wow, is she ever?
She is, y'all. She's a woo-hoo girl. And you know what, though? It's kind of her element. She kind of got like, she's already gorgeous, but she kind of like started glowing from the inside. And I was like, are you a siren that just walked from the boat?
She did look like some type of water nymph.
Yeah,
that shot up out, and where she was filled with sexual energy and trying to lure shipmen to their deaths with her titties.
Yes, and Reed is just a drunken sailor going gosh. I don't know. I mean, nothing ever happened, but I was just impressed with that.
They're all getting very sexual. Tosh is dancing herself clean.
This is when
all
they come.
Of a sudden.
Yes, that is what they come back to the boat and they're just dancing on the surface. She is. They're all like, "Who is
she
this
is
Tosh?"
dancing herself clean, and it ain't a working.
And sadly, Dave went later and jerked off in the bathroom because he's so fucking obsessed with her.
I don't think he's got a future on this franchise either. I think he was too Dark Cloud, even though he was very good at what he did. They don't want to take the chance of having someone like that again.
Well, I do know he's done stuff with Marcos.
Yeah, no, they've done stuff here. I think he's okay with riding the fame of it. I'm just saying with on another franchise.
The glamour, all of the fame, baby, you gonna remember my name.
Why are you singing that?
I'm gonna love you, who you are.
I know the song.
You said all of the fame, and it just made me think of that song because I'm gay.
Because I quoted a lyric.
Yeah.
I have to tell you, only gay men.
Not true.
Some of our listeners.
True. Yeah.
No.
Several of our sissies just went, "Oh my God!"
The RuPaul's Drag Race song.
I'm a superstar, bitch.
Some of them own that album, probably.
Oh yes.
Y'all, let me just say this. Let me just disabuse you of this now. RuPaul does not write good music. That stuff is bad.
You need to shut your mouth because A, you don't need to talk about RuPaul that way, and B, one of RuPaul's songs is one of the theme songs of our fucking show.
You know what? That is true. That is true. But I think it's when. Let me clarify. It is the songs that
I'm not disagreeing with
that
you.
she wrote when she hired the songwriters to be her Drag Race songwriters. It's every single song is the same song.
I'm not disagreeing with you at all. I'm just saying it's like we can't talk bad about Lady Gaga. I don't think you can talk bad about RuPaul.
Watch me. I love RuPaul.
I won't go. Watch me.
I just think she could get better songwriters. That's all I'm saying.
I think RuPaul's worth $60 million, and we're not.
I agree. I think, and this is me saying for Lady Gaga, I think Lady Gaga could hire lyricists who could write better lyrics.
Yeah, I agree.
So you'll agree with that, but don't want to agree that RuPaul could get.
I agree with you. I agree with you. I agree with you. That's it. I don't disagree with you.
It's all about craft. Let's move on.
Did you see that Carly Rae Jepsen did a ride with Cody Rigsby?
I did. I haven't taken it yet.
She is so gay. I love her.
I'm a fan. Her new album's good. It is. I feel like sometimes, with the exception of like 3 songs, I feel like they all sound the same, but I'm kind of okay with it.
Yeah, I guess, yeah.
But I think I need to listen more. I like that "Run Away with Me" song. That song I really like.
What is it? I listened to it a while ago, but yeah.
You won't know any of the names.
We are so off topic today. Yeah, I won't know any of the names. I think what else? They all start leaving. People leave. There's nothing really like.
Was there anything? Was there anyone who you thought would say something? Kyle, of course, is looking forward to seeing Frank.
Yeah.
Good Lord, I can't handle this fucker any longer. It's gonna be obnoxious.
I miss Frank though. He had those big nipples.
Frank was about as interesting as Paste. Frank had no personality.
Oh, I think he would be a tender fuck because he used to be a fat kid, so he has feelings on the inside.
No, he's so boring. If I'm gonna fuck somebody, I need to at least be able to like talk dirty with them.
You and I like different people, and that's okay.
Yeah.
You think my people are boring. I think your people could endanger my life. We just do what's comfortable for us.
Wouldn't be wrong there.
I think that's all I got. What do you got?
That's all I've got. And Tosh says I learned a lot about myself. And the producer says, "What are you up to next?" And she's like, "Finding a man." I'm like, "Oh."
And I couldn't tell if she was joking or not, and I don't think she was.
No, she wasn't. She wasn't joking. I of course Sandy wants all of them back. Definitely Z and Storm.
We learned through our mistakes.
Jesus, motherfucking Christ.
On that note, Captain Sandy, how do you want to close out the season?
Well, could I have a little music?
Sure.
You're finding it. What is this?
You don't know the Power of Two.
Oh, Power 2. Okay. Is it an acoustic version?
I think it is. Yeah, it is.
Okay. I'm such a lesbian music person. I was like, I should know this.
I should know that.
Yeah, this is a different version than this is yeah. Here's what I would tell you. Life is full of beginnings and endings. So we had a beginning, and then we had an ending. Some beginnings are endings. Some endings are also beginnings. Sometimes you meet someone halfway through the woods. Or the ocean, maybe. Sometimes you hire great people. Sometimes you don't. Sometimes you have a yeast infection. Wow. Sometimes you don't. Sometimes you're just looking at the sunset and thinking, wonder when Ani DeFranco's new remix is going to come out.
Got to do that DJ tour.
Yo, lead your ship. Lead your ship into the sunset. And if all else fails, follow your own truth. And buy my book. You can find that at CaptainSandy.com or CaptainSandyandLeahRae.com. That's my girlfriend. That's my lady love.
Lady love.
Yeah. Captain Sandy out.